Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. Good to see you guys. Joaquin, good to see you, my friend. You're the first one here. Hello, Laura, Aaron, Mr. Stone Sigma. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Joe. Good morning. We're afternoon now. We're 1:43 p.m. from the Galleria. Okay, Dylan. Oh, GTF, you're back, buddy. Good to see you. Did I say Saturday? It should be Sunday, right? I need to edit the title. I'm like losing track of my days, guys. All right, yes, UK. Hello, Laura from the UK. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Oh, yes. What am I drinking? The important thing. I'm having a strawberry lager. Cheers, y'all. Apache from the Windy City, Chicago. Yes. Today we have pretty nice weather. It's very sunny, hot still. In Texas, it's always hot. We're probably gonna, the temperature here is gonna be hot till probably the end of November, which is nice. I'm not complaining. My persimmon tree is starting to ripen up, so we should get fruit in late October. So the pepper plants are doing amazing, guys. I just did a video today. I have not uploaded it yet, so I need to do some editing tonight. So I'll upload it tomorrow. But you guys are gonna see all of the varieties that I'm growing because I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna go into the plants in details and show you what they look like right now. Yeah, they're all looking so good, guys. It's very exciting, like. Early in the season, everything was just struggling like crazy, and then towards the end of the year, they all recovered and they're doing really well. So yeah. Aaron Greenleaf, Texas is gorgeous today. Yes, definitely, Texas is gorgeous today, guys. It's the weather's great. It's not crazy hot like it's always been. It's cooling down a little bit, so the plants, as soon as the weather cools down a little bit, the plants are just loving it. It's just out of control with pod productions right now. So I have pods probably on every single plant, and they're just loaded down. Heat and humidity return to Houston today. Yeah, Houston is one of those places where if you're new and you haven't lived there for a while, it's going to be very difficult to live there. It's hot, it's humid, um, and every now and then it rains, and when it rained too much, and then you get flood and stuff like that. I live in Houston for like I think 5 to 6 years. I love Houston. You can find everything, like as far as food, they have the best type of foods, guys, in the United States. If you want great food, like fusion, all kinds of different foods, you got to go to Houston. They have everything. Red Cat was born there. Okay, nice. Aaron Hernandez, Mr. Aaron. Good to have you here. Drew, good to see you back, my friend. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, today it's just a gorgeous day. I did a lot of gardening this morning because it's nice and cool, and then I did a video update. As I mentioned, it's gonna come up probably tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna show you all the plants that I have growing. I picked a few Brazilian starfish, and I've eaten it already. Brazilian starfish are just amazing. How's the tobacco going? Oh man, my tobacco is doing awesome. Uh, the plant grew. I mean, the leaves are like massive. You know, it's like I would say it's almost 2 feet long. You know, it's big. And I dried a bunch of the leaves now, and they smell so good. Dry tobacco leaves, guys. If you ever do, they call it color cure. Basically, color cure is like the slow process of allowing the leaves to change from green to brown. You know, dry up completely, and it smells so good. It almost smells like really ripe bananas. That's how I would describe it, like ripe bananas. Yeah, Don, the cigar process is going. Uh, I just dried a bunch of leaves, so they're all cured now. The next step I'm going to do is ferment it. Man, the fermenting process is very difficult to do because I don't have all the tools. So all I'm doing is sort of like DIY everything. I have to DIY the fermenting process. So it's going to be very difficult. But if it works, I'm going to be very happy. Oh, let me show you some that I have. So this is what I cured so far. This is my tobacco leaves. I just cured it. Guys, it smells so good. And I save it in this container so that it can remain dry. And later on, I'm gonna moisturize it, and then I'm gonna ferment it. That way, it goes through the ferment aging process, and then cigars will come out of that. We're gonna make cigars. I've done it one time last year. It didn't turn out that great. So this year I'm doing it again. So it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun work because it's something that I'm really interested in. So you know, the learning process and the failure and all that stuff, all that is just a learning thing, and it's fun. Yeah. So if you guys ever do it, yeah, Drew, you're right. It does remind me of raisins or dried bananas. That's what it smells like. Cured tobacco leaves smell so good. It almost has like a sweetness to it. Yes, Joe, I do ferment tobacco, but I'm not an expert. I'm just learning. So you know, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I'm still learning. How long is it from seeds to cigar? Okay, so from seeds to cigar, it could take up to 4 to 6 years, and the reason is some you know, cigar brand, they do cure. Is it cure? Not cure. Ferment for like four to 5 years, but from seeds to leaves that you can pick and dry, it takes around 6 months. Yeah, 6 months, and tobacco leaves are very tricky because the leaves are like as small as a speck of sand. It is so small, and you can't pick a single seed and sprout them. You got to take like a whole like a pinch, and you spread them over the soil, and then once they come up, you separate them. The seeds are just so small. I mean, for a plant as big as like 6 7 feet tall, it started out with a seed the size of a grain of sand. It's crazy. It's how small that is. And if you guys, you know, those, you know, when you buy tobacco seeds, right? They'll give you like maybe 200 seeds or something, and that 200 seeds can fit inside a pinch of your, you know, like just like a pinch that small. And when I harvested seeds, each of the pods that come out of the, you know, the that holds the seed pods, those in itself is like 400 500 seeds. So basically, you're paying for like half of a pod, like $5 for half of a pod. Tobacco seeds company, I think they make a ton of money because you know, I harvested my own seeds, and I mean, I have like a gazillion seeds, and that is just from one plant. Okay, I've been talking too much. Let me read the comments. Oh, Aaron, will you ask why ferment? Okay, so fermenting tobacco is very much like fermenting hot sauce, fermenting whiskey, or beer, it takes the leaves to the next level. You know, it brings out the aroma, the flavor, the taste, and it get rid of all the toxic stuff that is in there. So tobacco leaves, in its rare form, like green form, is very toxic. It has a certain chemical in there that you can't ingest. So you got to color cure it to get rid of all that, and then you ferment it additionally to bring out all of this natural flavor. That's why certain tobacco costs so much. Like sometimes you buy one cigar and it can cost you like $100. And the reason is because of the process that it is used to make it. It is a very long process. No, I don't smoke and I don't chew tobacco. I don't do any of those. I just love the process of making cigars. You know what? I maybe if I make the cigar, I'll smoke it. But yeah, normal daily. I mean, I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke at all. Not even cigars or anything like that. Maybe like once in a blue moon on a special occasion when a friend invite me for a cigar and whiskey. Yeah, then I'll smoke a cigar. And yes, just experimenting. Nothing more than that. But making cigars, it'll teach you a lot about the art of making cigars, and you appreciate it more. And now that when you see people smoke cigar, you almost feel like, okay, now I know why you have the appreciation for cigar. It's just, yeah, it takes a lot of work to make. The same thing as whiskey, like whiskey, the process that goes into making it is a very long process, because first you got to make the whiskey, and then you got to age it in a barrel, and then you got to wait for like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, something like that. So tobacco is not that long, but there's some that goes, they'll age it up to 4 to 6 years, and those are the really really expensive one. And again, peppers too. You ferment the peppers to make the hot sauce, like Tabasco does the fermentation process. Um, let's see, sriracha goes through the fermentation process. I make fermented hot sauce, and I actually prefer the fermented hot sauce over the regular sauce. It's something about aging it that brings out that natural flavor, and it's just the taste is much different. Martin's a KS whiskey one day. Man, that would be a dream come true. I would love to make some whiskey one day and call it the King Star whiskey or something. Oh, Mark, so, people hated you for making hot sauce using my method. I mean, I don't see why you. I mean, the reason I make the video is so that people can make it. I wanted to share it with you guys so you can make the same sauce and see how good it is. Yeah, Mark, sorry about that. If somebody gives you hate for that, that shouldn't, you know, you should make the sauce. You use my method, and then add your own. The reason the video is out there is so that people can make it, and use the same recipe as me. Yes, Mighty Nor. I grew Callaloo. I love Callaloo actually, and I have a plant right now in the garden. The Callaloo. Uh, Guys, if you guys are wondering what Callaloo is, it's a form of amaranth. It's very popular in Jamaica. They make like this callaloo dish in Jamaica, and it's a very very popular dish, and it is delicious. And the callaloo plant is very nutritious. They're easy to grow, and they love the heat. So if there's one plant that you want to grow for the nutritional value, and it just grows in the heat. Amaranth, which is callaloo, is a great variety to grow. It's almost like a cross between a spinach plant um, and uh, I don't know. It's very similar to spinach when once you cook it. It's really nice. Let's see. I need to read the comments, guys. Oh, Aaron, yes. Guys, I am going to join Sean at Chili Chump on his channel for the live next week. So if you guys put this in your calendar, if you guys want to, join us and talk live. Sean is an amazing grower, and he has like he just bought this new plot of land, and he builds all kinds of stuff. My baby's napping, and he's just crying. But usually he cries for a few minutes, then he goes to sleep. Probably like a bad dream. Yes, I am. I'm going to be joining Sean at Chili Chump for the live stream on October 3rd. So, guys, join us on October 3rd. And then you can talk to Sean there. He's very knowledgeable about hot sauce, pepper growing, hydroponic, crossing peppers. And his videos are amazing. You guys should check out his channel. Hey, Ben. Good to see you, Ben. Maybe I was being too loud, so I woke the baby up. Make sure I don't try to eat spiny amaranth. Yes, definitely not the spiny amaranth. Callaloo, and there's other form of amaranth that I grow, and I think it's called the purple amaranth. Yeah, you guys hear my baby? I think he's having a bad dream. Yeah, he's in the room in the back. So his nap time is around 1 to 3 o'clock, and that's usually the time I come on to do live stream. And maybe I was making noise, so he heard me. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, he's fine. No, because if I go in there, he'll stay up and want me to play with him. So we go by the schedule because it makes it a lot easier. So we have he naps in the afternoon from 1 to 3, and then he naps better at night. So if he doesn't nap in the afternoon, it's gonna be it's gonna be rough. So we have a very good schedule for him. And the good thing is he sleeps through the night, so it's perfect. So I have a lot more time now. Yes, Aaron, schedule is everything, guys. Of course, I'm a new parent. I don't know much at all, but I know for sure that when I put my baby on a schedule, everything just works well. And if I go off the schedule, oh man, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, Daddy Jean's kicking in. Yeah, as soon as they go and they sleep through the night, your whole life kind of change. It's like you're less stressed, you have more time, and you don't wake up with poofy eyes and all that stuff. And then I have more time in the garden. Guys, is anybody growing hydroponic peppers right now? Because every time I do a live stream, I want to show off my pepper plant in hydroponic because it is so amazing looking. Only basil. Yes. Okay. So basil is probably one of uh, the, the the best plant to grow in hydroponic because you get like unlimited amount of basil. Every time you pinch, they come right back. You pinch a few more days, it comes right back. And then if you pinch a big branch, you put that branch in water, and then a few days later, that branch will sprout some roots, and now you have more basil. Okay, Mark, let me show you the hydroponic setup. One second, I'll grab it. Here you go, guys. This is the, you see, I picked a lot of the red fruits off already. And so now it's just the the white fruits. I can't lean it because I just did a refill. You see? Look how pretty that is. There's so many fruits, and I pick peppers off of this plant like every day, and they just keep coming back. So I'll leave it right here. That way, when if other people wants to see it, they I'll show it again. But I always show this plant off because it's so gorgeous. There's just so many fruits on here, and you know when you grow it in hydroponic, it tastes much hotter than in soil. Have you guys ever done it before? Like did a comparison? And every time I do comparisons, I always find that the hydroponic peppers always taste a lot hotter. Okay, I'm gonna put it down. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys grow in hydroponic, you're gonna get a lot of fruits. You're gonna get fruits all year. So if you have never done it before, do a DIY systems. I made many videos on how to make DIY systems, and it's really easy to do. Oh, so that system there, uh, I don't do pH, and all I do is I add nutrients into my water, the 5 milliliter per gallon of water, and I shake the water up, and then I water the plant. That's it. There's nothing else you have to do. So keep it as simple as possible, guys, because if you keep it simple, it'll keep your interest, going. Because when it's too difficult, then you kind of get discouraged, and then you will stop trying. So if you do it, follow some of the videos that I made, and just keep it very, very simple. Don't go too crazy and buy all kinds of hydroponic stuff that you don't need, and it may cost you too much. And then if you have failures, then you would get discouraged because the cost was so high. So keep it simple, and keep experimenting, and you're gonna get it. It's not as difficult, and it's gonna become less intimidating once you get into it. Yeah, yogurt cups. I use baby formula container, and I grew lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, spinach, pak choy. I mean, you name it. I have grown it. Kyle, Mr. Kyle, Togarashi. Kyle, it's good to see you, my friend. How's Hawaii doing? I bet it's beautiful right now, huh? Cheers, guys. Mr. Yaya. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to have you here. Kyle, I was going through my phone the other day, and I found a picture of the hot sauce that you sent me a while back with the it was that's like the coolest logo ever on a hot sauce. You should keep making those. Yes, Aaron, I do compost. I compost everything in the garden. I have a huge compost bin that it's on its third year now. So every time I cut stuff in the garden, I I put it into the compost pile, and it just keep breaking down, keep breaking down, keep breaking down. And over the years, I have like really nice soil when I dig it out of the compost plant. Yes, Ben, amaranth is Raudeng. Yes, it is. Uh, except Callaloo is not the same as that type of amaranth you're talking about. But I have grown uh, multiple different kinds of amaranth. I even grown the white one. The white ones are really nice. They call it white, but it's actually green. It has like a white tone to it. The leaves has like a white shine. So I think that's why they call it white amaranth. Wood chips are great, but it does take a long time to break down. But if you have it in the garden, it just over the years, it just keep breaking down. Mark, I think you're asking about why hydroponic peppers are hotter than soil. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know, but based on all the experiments that I've done over the years, the reason I think that hydroponic plants are hotter is because you can formulate the hydroponic nutrients to give you the best results. And what that means is, you got your N, P, and your K, right? And then you also have your micronutrients, right? So based on the different stage of the plant cycle, you can increase the different nutrients like you reduce the nitrogen, increase the potassium and phosphorus, and then you add in some calcium and all these other micronutrients. And then it gives the plant exactly what they need without having to go look for it. Because when you grow it in soil, if you have a good mixture of soil, then the plant will grow fine. But if your soil may be depleted over time, the roots will have to go further out to dig and find it. And also, usually when you grow it in a raised bed or in the ground, the plant has to compete with other plants for resources. So it may not get what it needs directly all the time, like hydroponic, you know, in hydroponic, it just gets it all the time. So whatever they need, they'll just have it. And so I think that for that reason, uh, some hydroponic plants could taste sweeter, can be hotter, and maybe has a higher sugar content. Yes, I do have a dehydrator. I use the Nesco dehydrator. I make beef jerky. I make dry pepper flakes, and I also make like dry fruits and stuff. Aaron, do I feel that organic fertilizer this late in the season is good? You know what? Organic fertilizer is good all season long. But what I would, instead of just focusing on if it's organic or not, you should focus on the different stages of your plants. For example, in the beginning, when the plants are younger, you don't need like uh, all of these other different nutrients for fruiting. You can just use like a balanced, higher contents of nitrogen, and it will help boost the plant growth. And then towards the end, you want to use one that had that assists with the bloom. That way, it keeps the flowers, it produces more fruits, and it produces better fruits because you're feeding the plant exactly what it needs. So I think those are important. Just whatever stages the plants are in, use, if you want to get technical, use the nutrients or the fertilizer that would best feed it for the needs of what the plants want at that stage. So right now, I think you should focus more on like the bone meal. It gives you there's blood meal and bone meal. I think the blood meal is for the nitrogen, and the bone meal is for the phosphorus and potassium and calcium and all that stuff. It does helps with fruiting. It helps tomato keeps the fruit instead of rotting and stuff like that if it's deficient. So depending on, again, where the plant is right now, you should focus on that. Yes, over time, the microbes will break it down. Um, that's if you use like uh, particles, nutrients. If you use dissolvable nutrients, it could be available right away. So depending if the plants needs it right away, then you can also use different kind. Like for example, if you make compost tea and stuff like that, uh, it's available immediately for the plants to use. So so some plants, if your plant is already healthy, the slow process, of compost breaking down will feed them eventually would be fine. But if the plant is deficient and it may need the nutrients immediately, then you can use like like soluble where it's already broken down. You water it in, it's available for the plants to use. And remember, pepper plants are very picky if you over fertilize. So don't over fertilize pepper plants. It will cause so much problem. The first problem is it will bring aphids to your plants. If you overfeed your pepper plants, it make the plants very vulnerable to aphids, and aphids will attack, and they will just come in hundreds and hundreds, and it's going to be worse. It make the plant weak and make it look sick. The animals will attack it. But if you feed it just right, sometimes it's okay to be, feed it less, and it'll be fine. But if you feed it too much, that is not fine. So and with peppers, it's better to go less than more. Uh, Newen, yes, I do have rau kangkul, which is the crab claw. Oh man, it's all over my yard right now. Um, I've been eating the crab claw vegetable since a few months already, and every day I pick a few. I mean, I have so much, like a whole patch of them. They're just beautiful, and they grow so well. And yeah, they're all over my yard, and those are the one. That's one of the weeds that I would never get rid of. Yes, they do. They do better in the shades, as well as there's a lot of moisture. They want moisture in the soil because that type of vegetable, they have very shallow roots. So the roots are very shallow towards the top. Yes, Aaron. Yes, crab claw. Uh, so if your top layer of the soil is always dry, it's going to be very difficult for them to grow because they grow very shallow roots. So keep it moist at the top and also keep it in the shade. You will have amazing looking crab claw vegetables. I grow them every year. Actually, I don't grow them. They just come back. They just come back year after year after year. They're very nutritious, and they're delicious too. They're great in salads. In many places like the Philippines and even South America, these are considered weeds. But in Vietnam and stuff like that, they're a good type of weed. We eat them, and they're amazing. So yes, they're not very picky. They don't have a lot of bugs that eat them, and they grow easily, and they can overwinter. The seeds can overwinter, so you don't have to pick the seeds. Just let the seeds fall. Even with the frost and snow and stuff like that, the seeds will be fine, and next year they will grow right back. Dustin, yes, crab claw. You need to look it up. It's amazing. They call it shining bush, silver bush, peperomia. I'll type the name out to you so you can there. That's the proper name for it in the English. Like what is it? Latin name? I think it's Latin name. But yeah, Jeff, my friend, Jeff Hobbs. Guys, Jeff Hobbs is here. He's a longtime buddy. Jeff is growing some amazing pepper, guys. Check out his Facebook. I think Jeff sells like flat rate boxes. You guys have to go to Jeff's Facebook and check him out. Maybe you can get some of his peppers. But yeah, Ben, yes, you're right. The raudang is it's a favorite of many bugs. Like for example, grasshoppers will eat them. You always find holes in those plants, and that's the reason. It could be like because of grasshoppers. Because yes, the plants are very delicious. It's very nutritious for the bugs. So yeah, the bugs love them. James, mice they do eat peppers, but they won't eat the red peppers because mice are mammal, right? They have taste buds, so they will not eat the ripe reapers, but they will eat the young reapers. So if you have green young reapers, they'll chew on it. They'll chew on the leaves. They chew on the pods. But when the pods are red, they won't eat them. Cheers, y'all. Don, what is my experience with fermented fruits? I have not fermented fruits. The only time I ferment fruits is if I make them into my hot sauce. I think that's the only time, but I don't ferment fruits. Ben, I grew watercress in hydroponic. They do really well. The reason watercress don't grow well is because naturally watercress grows in running water. It requires running water because running water will provide oxygen and also food source for the watercress, and that's how they grow. So if you want to, you can grow watercress in hydroponic. And if you can't grow watercress, I recommend you look up upland cress. I'm growing upland cress right now, Ben, and they're very similar to watercress in taste. They almost look like watercress. They're just a little bit tougher. They don't have the thick, crunchy stem, but the leaves has a little spice to it, and it's easy to grow. It grows in the cold. It grows in the heat, especially in the cold. It grows in the cold really well. So in the cooler months, you grow upland cress, and I mean they produce a lot of leaves, so you can have like a lot of upland cress. If you want watercress and you can't have it, that's an alternative. James, for some reason, my sunflower plants are covered with green grasshopper, not one leaf eaten. I guess they don't like grasshoppers don't like sunflowers. That might be a good thing. Um, I see grasshoppers in my yard often. They're not a big problem. Occasionally, they'll chew on the leaves of my plants, but I only find like 4 or 5 of them. It's fine. They're no big deal. But if you find a whole bunch of them, they could be very destructive. Don said grasshoppers are good eating. You know what? In many countries, they eat grasshoppers and like they put them on a stick and they fry them. I've never had it, but I wouldn't mind trying it. James, I don't think grasshopper eats other bugs. They just eat. I, I've never seen a grasshopper eat other bugs. I think they just eat your plants. It could be because they just group by the. Oh, maybe they are. Eat the bugs. Yes, eat the bugs. you know, I saw this documentary, guys, and they said like the most populated species on the planet are of course those bugs like grasshoppers and all these other bugs, crickets and all that stuff, and they're easy to reproduce and they're easier to farm. So have them eating them as a food source would not be a bad thing because you can you can produce them easily, and eating them is not destructive to the environment. Oh man, Aaron, I don't know about that. Hornworms are a little bit creepy. I don't know about foot long hot dog with hornworms. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, uh, Omar, the grasshoppers are like a food source in many countries. Not just grasshoppers, but like beetles like June bugs. Those are great protein snacks in many places. I think grasshoppers like scorpions. Yeah, they have scorpions, And what else? What those those grubs that they find in trees? Those are eaten in many places. Omar, come on, explore a little bit. Try one. Just try one so that you can say that you have. Don wants to know what's the strangest thing you have eaten. Strangest things you have eaten. Maybe for me, alligator. I've had alligator. I mean, I never knew we can eat alligator, but yeah, I think that was strange. Wow, interesting. Many people are typing. Tuna eyes. Yeah, alligators are it's a little bit chewy, but it's actually pretty good. I mean, I would eat it again. Dustin, yes. Lots of sources online say crab claws, shining bush are edible and medicinal. Yes, they are definitely edible because I eat them every day for the past 2 months. Aaron, do you have a list of peppers you're going to grow for next year? You know what? I usually don't make that list until uh, probably December because I have to go through my list of plants that I grow this year. Excuse me, to see what I like, and then possibly I trade a few things here and there because there's always a new variety that I have to add every season. So this season I added the Jay's Peach Ghost crossed with a Primo, and I love that variety so far. Mighty, am I still growing arugula? Yes, I grow arugula all the time, every year, and I love arugula. They grow very well in the cool months. So right now it's still hot. So as soon as the temperature drop a little bit, I'm gonna drop seeds, and within 25, 30 days, I would have like a whole garden bed full of arugula. I love arugula. They're really nice. An alternative to arugula, because I can't get them in the summer, is I grow Mizuna. If you guys have ever heard of Mizuna, it's a Japanese vegetable variety. It tastes very similar to arugula and uh, what is that? And some other plant just slipped my mind. But I grow Mizuna in place of arugula in the summer. And mustard, yes, arugula and mustard, and they grow like in a big old bush, and they spread out like this. It looks beautiful. So if you ever, and the leaves are like you know serrated, so it's pretty cool. So if you ever never grown Mizuna, that you can I think you can buy them in the store sometimes. They have Mizuna salads and stuff like that. Um, do you have tips for first-time pepper grower? What's your top favorite pepper plant? My favorite pepper plant is the white Thai variety. If it's your first time, I would pick an easy plant to grow that is nice and productive. that would do well in your climate. If you live in a hot climate, pick a Thai variety. If you have an average climate that are nice between 75 to 85 degrees, you can pretty much grow any kind of pepper varieties. Uh, if it's your first time, pick some easy one like any annuum variety like Thai peppers, um, uh, even like habaneros, ghost peppers. Those are easy if you are into heat. Yeah, habaneros are great. I'm growing two habanero plants right now, and they're amazing. They just grow so easily. They produce a lot. Uh, they're very easy to maintain, and they just do really well. So I would go with habanero. Jalapenos are great. They're easy to grow as well, and it doesn't have a lot of heat, but every now and then you'll get one that's really hot. Martin, can we see that white tie again? Sure, I'll show it to you. Here we go. This is the white tie right here. Let me lean it a little bit. And lots of fruits, guys. See? Uh, Omar, I had to grow habanado peppers since not everyone likes heat. Habanados are good. I've had them before. They're funny. They have great flavor. They're very similar to a habanero, except the heat has been removed. So they're pretty good peppers to grow too. Yes, Ben, that is correct. Peperomia. That's what they're called. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My buddy keeps texting me to go to the gun range, so I told him I have to be I'll be busy for like the next hour. So let's see. Yes, GTF I do. I shoot probably once or twice a week. Do you ever grow any mushroom species? Also go shoot. You know what? I have not grown any mushrooms, but when I was a kid, my dad has a mushroom farm, and we grow shiitake and these other Vietnamese variety of mushrooms that that they dry as medicinal stuff, and also they put in desserts and stuff like that. Yeah, so I used to help them, plug, you dig out these plugs and add the spores and stuff like that. So I know a little bit about it, but not too much. Yes, Mighty, the white tie is in the MTN Grow Station. Yes. Brian H. Yes, I do go shooting. No, no, I'm not. I don't go hunting because I don't. A buddy of mine, he has a huge piece of land, and he told me that he has hogs. I mean, like hogs everywhere. He said they're a big problem in Texas, and they're always on his land. He asked me to go, shoot hogs, but I can't shoot anything. So I told him I can't shoot an animal, so I'm not gonna go. Stephen, are you into rifle or pistol? I have both, pistol and rifles, and shotguns. Wow, this channel we talk about everything. gardening, hydroponic, shooting, and everything. Yes, GTF is hog hunting is very, very big here, and the reason because hogs are a big problem. They, uh, I mean, because they don't have any natural predator besides coyotes and all that stuff, but they multiply out of control, so they become very invasive here. So they'll eat like all of these plants and stuff, destroy the land. So they're a big problem in Texas. So my buddy was showing me how, and like one time he traps hogs and stuff like that, and he'll catch like sometimes a whole group. They're probably a whole family of the hogs. They're very smart too. The hogs are very smart. So yes, again, in Texas they are a big problem, and so I think their hogs hunting season is very big here. People just hunt hogs and deer and all that stuff. But I think hogs is more. Yeah, they're very damaging because they not just they again they don't have a lot of natural predator here uh, besides the coyotes and all that stuff. But some of the hogs are very big. They'll fight off the coyotes. They're very aggressive and they multiply. I mean, each female can have six, sometimes seven, you know, little babies, and then they keep multiplying very fast. And so people with farms, they really is a big problem for people that own farms and stuff, and they mess up the land big time. And the reason is like they'll eat, but they also dig down and they'll eat the whole plant from root and up. So it basically every time they eat it, the plant is dead, and they have a big, huge appetite. They eat like crazy. And yes, Omar, they are very mean. So if they feel threatened, they'll charge at you. Wow, Omar, you see, there you go. 12 piglets. Usually I'll see six or seven, but I guess there's some can have up to 12, I guess. Yeah, and because they multiply so fast and the predator can't eat them as fast, so they overproduce, so they just become a big problem. I remember when I was in college, I think I did a paper on invasive species, and hogs was one of them. What? A one pig with 16 piglets. Wow, that is a lot. Oh, Drew is a hunter. Nice. James, you got a Mossberg 590. That is a great shotgun, my friend. I think there's a 590A1, and then there's a regular 590. Those are nice. Good choice. Aaron, what are my thoughts on Korean natural farming? I someone mentioned it last time, and I looked it up, and I was very amazed at the natural farming process that they use. I'm always into the natural farming stuff, so yeah, it's very interesting. No, GTF, I don't get hogs in the garden because we're more towards the city, so there's no hogs here. But if you go towards that, the countryside, that's where the hogs are a big problem. Yeah, we don't have hogs here. And Mighty, I still have a lot of pears left. This year, my pears are just doing amazing. I think I had over 200 pears this year, which is a huge jump from last year. I think the next year I may have even more because every year the tree grow a little bit, and I plan on doing some more grafting because I love the Korean giant so much. I might graft more of that onto my other pear trees and have Korean giants grown everywhere. I, how do you make pear butters? I've never done it before. I should look that up. James, you and I both, my friend. I have no heart to shoot an animal, so that's why I never go hunting. Hunting is big in Texas. I mean, I'll go fishing, but in hunting, definitely not. Aaron, you're right. If you're going to hunt it, you need to eat it. That's the only way I can see that is justified. Cheers, everybody. Let me see. I'm going back to the comments to see if I missed anything. Chili crossers. Wonder if you tried any starfish crosses, seeing as if it's one of your favorite. You know what? That's a great idea. Maybe I should because I do love the starburst so much. I mean the starburst starfish. I picked a few starfish earlier and I ate it already. Man, it's so good. There's very little heat, but it tastes like a fruit. Very crunchy. L- The walls are very thick, so it's like biting into a fruit. Scott, do I track what I grow? And let's see. Yes, I do. I made a databases. I made a database to track all the stuff that I grow because if I don't, I would lose track of everything. So I have a system that I made, just very simple. You can add entries, and then you can link it to a picture, and then you can put all of the details into it. That way, you know when you grow it and the description and all that stuff. So every time I look it up, click on the link, it brings up the picture, and it's a very quick way to find stuff. So it helps a lot. Because I'm very meticulous when I select peppers, and so I need to see what the plants look like, what the fruits look like, and if the plant is consistently the same, that is the one I pick to take the genetics for the next season. Whether I get the database, I built it myself. It's very easy. You can do it in Access too. So if you have Access, just build yourself a little database that allows you to link to pictures and put descriptions and entries and stuff like that. They have rows and columns, just like Excel, except you can do queries and all that stuff and find things quicker. You can do it in Excel too if you want. You get the columns, you put the name, description, all that stuff, and put a link to your picture. Yeah, and anything you can use that will help you. It's very that's nice and simple. Whatever you have access to. Also, sometimes I track myself by putting it online. I have a website, the kcdgarden.com, and I put many of my stuff there because sometimes I forget, and then I'll go back to it. Like if See, there's the website right there. And a lot of my crosses, you can find it there. I just need to add new stuff. Uh, Thank you, Adi. Glad you like it. Yeah, guys, you if you have been to KCD Garden, check it out. You can sign up for an account. It's everything is free. It's like a public domain. It's almost like a Wikipedia. And you go on there, and you can add entries of the stuff that you're growing, and then somebody else that are growing the same thing, they can add to it. You can add pictures, and then you have a log. You can keep it, and maybe later you forgot what you grew, or what kind of cross you made. uh, it's available there. It's going to always be there, so you can always go back and revisit and check it out. And that's how I, because sometimes people ask me like, hey Kang, what is your cross made from? And then I forget because I made so many, so I go to my KCD and look it up because I put all the stuff over there. Yeah, KCD is mine and Chris. If you go to the About page, you will see Chris. Chris is the genius behind the database. He put all that stuff together. And I run the administration. So if you go to KCD, you can see our picture there. What is the biggest yield I have gotten from a mini hydroponic pepper? The biggest yield I've gotten was 71 peppers from a plant that are like really small, like under a foot and a half, and it's like really wide. I got like 71 peppers from it. Yes, I have a link right here, buddy. There you go. James, yes, you can vacuum seal it and freeze it. It'll easily last for a year, and you can bring it out and make hot sauce from it later. And that's what I do every season, because I grow so much peppers that sometimes I don't give it away in time, and then everything ripen up, and so I have to pick it. And when I pick it, I can't eat it all at once, so I have to freeze it. Mighty, no, the tomato seeds are not in the wild yet, and the reason is it's very inconsistent, because I grow multiple plants, and then one plant is super sweet and the other plant is bland. So I got to keep getting the sweet one and keep growing it. That way I can see if I can keep it sweet forever, because I don't want to give say, oh man, this is so sweet, and then I give the seeds to somebody else and they're like, Kang, this thing is not good, what are you talking about? GTF, no. If you vacuum seal it and you freeze it, it does not ferment. So sometimes I don't even vacuum seal it. I just put it in a freezer bag, and I put it into the freezer, and that's it. All right, guys. It's been an hour. I have to go meet my buddy up at the range right now. So maybe we'll do this again next week. Yeah, I have to get going, guys. So I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.